What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the best 5 brawlers season 13 inside of Brawl Stars. But of course, before we get into it, do make sure to subscribe. Make sure you're using code TOM if you're picking anything up in the shop. Just a little note that the new brawler Otis will not be included in this list just because I haven't had time to see how good he is, but new brawlers are generally very good. Okay, so just before we jump into the top 5, we're going to start off with a few honorable mentions that didn't make it into the top 5, but are still very strong right now. So starting off with Squeak. So Squeak didn't quite make the top 5 just because he's very weak against those aggressive brawlers like the Carls, the Mortises. But apart from that, he is really good, especially with that gadget as well, but he didn't quite make it into the top 5. Okay, the next honorable mention then goes to Ruff. So Ruff's obviously had his gadget, that sandbags gadget, nerfed from basically 2,000 a sandbag to now 1,500. That's obviously affected him a little bit in a few interactions, but generally he's still going to be pretty good. He's going to be a really solid lane against most things. So Ruff's is still really good. I would say definitely top 10, but didn't quite make it into the top 5. So for the final honorable mention, we have Bo. Of course, Bo is very good right now. A really solid brawler. Basically doesn't really get countered by too much. Going to be decent against throwers, against tanks. A really well-rounded brawler. Good in a ton of modes. Decent damage. Good HP as well. Good range. So Bo, very solid overall. Didn't quite make it into the top 5. I did have him in the top 5 for a second, but he's not in there anymore. So Bo, yeah, very close to being top 5, but didn't quite make it. Okay, so coming in at number 5 then, we have Carl. So Carl has turned into an absolute madman, an absolute beast. We're seeing him first pick in draft a ton of the time in competitive because he is now really good. He basically got a projectile speed in the recent set balance changes and has turned into a little bit of a beast. He's just really good. Not really much else to say. He's about to slice up a ton of different brawlers. Going to be able to basically two-shot those 3k kind of brawlers. He can use that gadget to kind of go in on those weaker brawlers like the Squeaks, the Pipers, stuff like that. Slice them up. Good against throwers and has good HP, good damage. Overall, I feel like Carl definitely deserves to be top 5. If you haven't tried him out, definitely try him out because he is really good right now. Okay, so coming in at number 4, we have Crow. Of course, Crow continues to avoid nerfs, and yeah, I feel like he's not like so good that he's gonna get nerfed, so he keeps avoiding nerfs, but maybe he should be nerfed because he is very strong right now, especially with that slow gadget. It's incredibly strong. But yeah, basically he's really good in every single mode except for bounty. Not really gonna see him in too much bounty. To see him in stuff like gem grab, hot zone, knockout, brawl ball, and pretty much, you know, and heist probably as well, just because he's really good at shutting down aggressive comps like max and tank comps are really good against, but also because of that jump, he's going to be good against those throwers as well. So pretty well-rounded brawler. Also really good range, and as I already mentioned, that gadget is absolutely exceptional with the ability to slow all of the enemy team down for 5 seconds and basically give you a free kill if you do manage to slow them in kind of an open area. So Crow really strong right now, and definitely deserves to be on this list. Okay, so coming in at number 3, we have Penny. Of course, Penny got completely reworked, which you do love to see, and that's why we see Penny this high. Honestly, Penny would be number 1 if they didn't emergency nerf her, because Penny was insane, still is pretty insane, but obviously they did a little emergency nerf because they did rework her a bit too strong. A lot of reasons why she's amazing. One of them is that new multi-barrel gadget. Basically, you can put a barrel down and shoot, and basically it completely counters tanks. Because, you know, if a tank like a bull or something is going to run on you and try and kill you, you could put this barrel down, you could shoot it, and it's going to kill the bull if you place it right, which is kind of insane. That makes Penny a lot better against those aggressive brawlers, which he did struggle with before. Of course, now that turret is going to be very good as well. You can use a star power, which is essentially going to knock people back and deal damage. That one's called Master Blaster, and allow you to, again, be stronger against those tanks, which he did struggle with before. Of course, now you have a lot more HP. I believe it's like 6,000 HP or something on Penny, which is kind of crazy, and the damage, I think it stayed pretty similar. I just felt so funny to see so much Penny in the meta. He's just really good on every single mode, pretty much playable on, you know, bounty, knockout, gem grab, even brawl ball, where you wouldn't expect to see Penny, and of course on heist because of that turret. And yeah, definitely Penny mains are loving life right now. Penny definitely deserves to be in this list. Okay, so coming in at number 2, we have Bonnie. Some people were saying, you know, Bonnie shouldn't make this list. I completely disagree. Bonnie is one of the best brawlers in the entire game right now. Just cannot say otherwise. You have almost 8,000 HP as a long-range brawler. Is absolutely ridiculous. You have one of the best damages. You're going to deal the same damage, obviously, from close range and also long range. So not the same as Piper, where you're going to deal no damage at close range. Basically, you're going to deal 1,500 damage, which is really good, to be honest, considering how easy it is to hit those shots. A pretty solid gadget, an amazing super, which basically turns you into Leon. You can jump on those throwers. In my opinion, Bonnie is the best mid in the game right now by far. Pretty much usable in every single mode. and map as well. And that's how good Bonnie is. So Bonnie 100% for me deserves to be number 2 on this list. Okay, now coming in at number 1, we have Janet, of course, the second latest addition into the game. Really good damage. Again, the same as Bonnie, actually, 1,500 at max range. Probably a little less range than Bonnie. But the reason Janet is so good is because you can basically work to get that super, land on someone, and spam those shots out so quickly. So you can land on the throwers or the pipers, those weaker brawlers, and do really well. Of course, you do have that super as well, allowing you to fly, which is pretty unique and pretty cool as well. Also, 2 pretty good gadgets as well. And I feel like Janet, yeah, doesn't really lose to any lanes. Obviously going to counter things like rough, spike, those throws as well because of that super. And definitely feel like Janet is deserving of this number 1 spot. Okay, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.